Hello and welcome to Spirit Forest. This is a series of videos that I'm doing regarding all the tents that I own. I own 11 tents and I'm putting all the tents up to see which ones are a keep and which ones are to get rid of. Because I don't know if I need 11 tents. I think I need 6, 7, 8? 8? 8? Do I need 8 tents? I need 8 tents. I don't know for sure. I don't know which ones I'm going to keep yet. This one was donated to me for my classes, and I don't know what's inside. It's a light tent. It's really light. So this is going to be a really good one for my backpacking classes for the ladies. You know, this is a pretty good option because this is pretty light. So I am thinking this is a one-person tent. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's crossed in the back here. Would it cross again? Would it? Really am I stumped about a tent. Really. And this one has stumped me a little bit. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to figure this one out. I like it, but it stumped me. Let me show you. We have a door on the side with a little window that you could zip up. You see that? That's a little window you could zip up, which seems kind of odd that you'd want to do that because over here it's wide open. So why not just keep that open? Maybe I'll know once I put the rainfly up. Okay, so this is what stumped me. It crosses in the front and it crosses in the back. Yeah. And then, what's that? Am I gonna plug it in somewhere? What am I plugging in? I don't know. Okay. So I'm thinking 2-person tent with a lover or a kid. I don't think you're gonna want to share this tent with a stranger. You're gonna want to share this tent with someone you know really well, because it's a bit tight in there. But again, this is a really lightweight tent. Come around to the back side. Oh, there's some little places to put your stuff. There you go. There's the back side of it. Okay, let's put up the rainfly. See what that looks like. Yep, now I know why the window zips up. There is no vestibule on this one. I don't know. I'm kind of used to vestibules. But I like the tent because it's really light. So I'm going to keep it. Because you never know. There's that one time where you just need to lighten your load. This isn't bad. It's just you have to bring your shoes inside the tent. And your backpack and anything else needs to be inside the tent instead of outside the tent with this one. So I did find a brand name. There you go. There's the brand name of this tent. Okay, I'm going to put this tent up for a couple days and we're going to come back and revisit it. See how it did. One more thing. There's no ground cover needed for this one. The bottom layer on this tent is pretty good. So it's pretty thick. So you don't need a ground cover on this one. This is the one tent that I'm kind of iffy about. I can go either way. It doesn't have a vestibule, and it has just this door. So if it's raining and you want to get your shoes on or something like that, you got your shoes on inside the tent and then come out and have all your stuff already. That's the only thing about this tent I don't like. However, I think the tent did really well, and it is pretty lightweight. So I'm gonna keep it because you never know. I think it's fine. I mean, you just put your shoes on the inside. It just might get a little muddy on the inside of this tent. But it's definitely a thumbs up. It did go through a rainstorm and it didn't leak or anything like that. So I think it's good for now. We're gonna try it out a couple times. Maybe some ladies in my class will try it out and we'll see what their take is on it. So today's tent is a REI Clipper. There you go. Looks like a two-person tent to me. So we're gonna put this up. I think this is one of mine because everyone else who donated a tent to me made it all really nice and neat when they put it in the bag, and I just shove it in there. And this one was just shoved in there. Oh, and it smells like tent too. I know I'm cheesy like that. I like the smell of tents. Okay, let's put this one up. I remember now, this one was donated to me. This is the one I put up a while ago to test it out. This is the one with a window in it. Isn't that cool? I like it. Let's put it up again in case you didn't see that video. I like this tent. It is a little heavy, but I do have a mother-daughter coming here on the trip in one of my June classes, and I think that this tent would be really good for the two of them. So I think that I will recommend this tent for them. If you didn't see that video before, this is really nice. It has a lot of mesh on this side, and then it has a ceiling mesh so you can look at the stars. And then a little back door mesh as well. Yeah, I think this one would be really good for my mother-daughter recommendation. It's got a lot of room in there. Lots of room for them to move around and so forth. So this will be really good for them. Okay, let's put on the Rainfly now. I'll give you a tour of this tent and just do a little roundabout kind of tour of the tent so you could see it. I did really like this tent when I first put it up. It's a really good tent. It's going to be great for that mother-daughter that's coming out. It's a little heavy, but mom's a bodybuilder and daughter's a soccer player, so they're going to be fine. They'll be fine. They'll split up the tent, I'm sure. Someone will, what I do when I have two people camping with me and I'm sharing a tent, one person carries the poles and another person carries the tent. And so that way it evens out the weight a little bit more, so not one person's carrying too much. Or one person carries all the food and another one carries all the tent. Eventually it ends up working out, but yeah, this is a good tent. Gonna be really good for the mother-daughter. Okay, let me give you a little tour around. And then I'm gonna wait a couple days. We're gonna keep this up and we're expecting some weather. So we're gonna keep this up and we're gonna come back to it after the weather and see how it did. And it can get really windy in this little valley over here too. So we'll see how it does. Oh, I forgot to mention, this one came with an extra ground cover. Isn't that ideal? Because the other one didn't have a ground cover. Now, I don't know if my ladies are going to want that solo tent or if they're going to want a two-person tent. I'll have to figure that out. But I have an extra ground cover. So one of the next tents, if it's a two-person tent, I'll probably put, and it doesn't have a ground cover, I'm probably just going to add this to it. I have a couple more tents to put up. Okay. So it's been a couple days and this tent has gone through a rainstorm as well, and I think it's done really well. It kind of reminds me of like a little bug or something because it has that little window. I don't know why. Every time I look at it, it reminds me of that. This morning we had a lot of ice all over the tents here, and it's done pretty well. I think if it was a storm, I'd probably tie out the sides a little bit, so bring some extra paracord with this tent in case there's a storm. I really like the little window so you can look out. I wish more tents did that. So I give this tent a thumbs up. This is a Blade 100. I've actually put it up on my channel before, so I'll be pretty fast in putting this one up. And I want you to check it out. I think it's a one-person tent. So I am going to find a spot, which is kind of fun because at Spirit Forest I've only put tents up in my 4 designated spots, and now because I have all these tents out, now I can explore other spots at Spirit Forest. So this is a new spot. I wouldn't actually recommend putting a tent here because that's a dead tree right there. That's a dead tree. This one might be dead. I can't tell. A lot of dead trees up here, uphill, that would fall down on the tent. Not the safest area to have a tent. But it'll be kind of nice. If I remember this tent well enough, you have to secure this tent to the trees. So you really need to be in a wooded area for this tent to be really efficient. And this tent is an option for one of my ladies in my class. It's not a bad tent. I think when I put it up before, I thought it did really well. So let's put this thing up. See what it looks like. There's a lot of sticks everywhere. I don't want to put a hole in this tent. Oh, just so you know too, this tent came all the way from a subscriber in Greece. A subscriber in Greece donated this tent to Spirit Forest. So thank you. Okay. Got most of the sticks away. Nobody's gonna be laying in it. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, sorry it was kind of hard to film in here. I didn't realize it had a branch in front of you the whole time. But anyways, this is it. Pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty lightweight too. Pretty lightweight. Just having you take a peek at it before I put the rain fly on it. Now it's on a bit of a slant, but you probably can't tell in the video that it's on a slant. It has a little window, a little air vent back here, and some pockets on the inside, and ironically, or just kind of weird, it has an outside pocket. Seems kind of odd. And then it has like another little air vent window at the top here. It's not very long, but long enough for me. That's all that matters. Okay, let's put the rain fly on. Okay, the rain fly's on. Take a peek. I thought you had to attach it to trees more, but you really don't. You just attach it directly to the ground. I don't know if you see where I attached it. It's a lightweight tent too. I didn't attach anything on the front or the back, so this I did not attach anywhere. But I think just for trying it out today, I think it works out just fine. And I'm going to keep it up for a couple days, and then we're going to test it out, see how it does. So the difference between this one-person tent and the other one-person tent is it has this pole that goes all the way across into the front, and the other one does not. So I prefer the other one over this one just because of that, so you don't have to keep walking around the pole. But I do really like this tent, and it is really lightweight and small and compact. So I think that if I were just going out solo and I wanted a lightweight tent, I think this one does pretty well. So I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next video.